Let me just tell you that I'm not wild about any of the solutions that are being put before you that are out there. I don't know if you guys have seen this little meme that's been out there right now. There's Sanders, there's Trump, there's Hillary, there's Cruz. I think I'm gonna go with Pine Straw. You ever feel like that? You're like, what the, why? That's why you're apathetic. Hey, let me just say something to you real quick, because people ask me this, Todd, what do I do right now? How do I vote? How do I determine how I participate as a person charged by God and given the freedom to have the office in a democratic republic, which means that we have the right to delegate authority for governance to other people. What do I do if I don't see anybody fit there? Well, I'll tell you what you don't do. Sometimes you can vote for the lesser of two evils, and this is important. I want you to listen to me. Until Jesus Christ himself runs for office, you will always be voting for the lesser of two evils. The Bible says all men are liars. Jesus says that when you look at a woman with lust in your heart, you commit adultery. But watch, listen to me. While it's true that compared to the righteousness of God, all men are liars, that doesn't mean you hire somebody who habitually practices deceit. Just because it's a fact that if you look at somebody with lust in your heart, you're an adulterer, it doesn't mean, gals, that you just marry a guy and you ignore his philandering ways. There are individuals who the direction of their life is not towards deceit, although compared to the holiness of God, all men are liars. There is none who does right. It's always a lesser of two evils. But is there a man whose practice and who the direction of their life, not the perfection, but the direction of their life is towards rightness? Are they humble? Are they ruled by a wisdom that is more than just the polls of the day? Do they know that there is a God who intends it to go well with them, who defines morality, not culture? And there are times when you will look at different candidates and you'll say, I think I can support this candidate. But I'm going to tell you, there are certain things that you look at in candidates and you go, I can't call that a lesser of evils. That is flat evil. When you have somebody who says, as part of their effort to be in office, I think it's okay to kill people, you cannot delegate your authority to that person. When you say, I think it's okay to treat people differently because of the color of their skin or their gender or their nationality, to oppress them, to treat them as worms or cockroaches or as less than human, you cannot vote for that person. Because you can't delegate your authority to them. So you tell, what do I do if it's them or Pine Straw? Okay? One of the things that really bothers me is I hear people say this, well, I'm not gonna vote for that person because they're not electable. Not enough people will vote for them. And so if I vote for them, I'm throwing my vote away. You are never throwing your vote away when you stand for righteousness, ever, okay? And what happens is too many people have bought the lie that you can't elect somebody like that, and all of a sudden, we quit pursuing something like that. Do you guys know that maybe what we think is the greatest president who ever lived, Abraham Lincoln, when he ran, there were two primary parties in our system of government. They were the Whigs and the Democrats. And he ran as a third-party candidate, something called a Republican. And he got elected. Sometimes the third-party candidate won't get elected. But what he'll do is he'll start to awaken the country to something better. And people sometimes don't think that there is something better out there because everybody either settled or was apathetic, didn't care, and didn't participate. You don't have that freedom. Adults don't put their thumb in their mouth and sit in the corner and sulk. They seek justice, they do good, they speak up, they stand firm, they stay humble, and they serve their king. So sometimes, gang, you might have different views on certain financial policies. You might have different views on even certain immigration policies about who we should let in and how we should deal with folks who are here illegally. And you might say that's a lesser of two evils. But there are certain things where you're gonna say, I cannot vote for a lesser of two evils because I can't delegate my authority to evil. And if that is the case, you write in, you speak up, you tell people why you can't, and you rally support behind somebody whose direction is towards righteousness, and maybe eventually we'll have something better. But you cannot not vote, because our country's leaders are not chosen by people who have the right to vote. Our country's leaders are chosen by people who vote and actually get in there and do it. And adults don't back down. They go to work and they stand firm.